Hey guys, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, official Bullet Club member, and Soy Boy 444 Life. Back again with another insane things that's happening in wrestling right now that show that does exactly what it says on the tin in the most annoying way possible. You are very, very welcome. Now before we begin, I hope you are well. I hope you're being fair to yourself and remembering that while things that we talk about in this video are insane, it doesn't mean that you need to drive yourself mad. Take a break, take stock of what you can and cannot achieve, and ask for help if you need it. So with that in mind, let's crack on with the show and hit that intro. My voice is going, what's going on? Actually, I just wanted to chuck a bit of a bonus insane things here, because that is, as of right now, we are completely sold out of tickets for our live show, which is happening on April the 8th. Now, I just wanted to thank every single person that's coming along, but yeah, it blows my mind that people would want to pay to come and see a gang of us be absolute idiots. I'm even going to be doing a live version of Insane Things, and it's going to be erotic. Anyway, onto an absolute boner killer instead of a boner starter, and by talking about something that even Vince McMahon, the man who once pitched an incest angle with his own daughter, might actually be embarrassed of. And that thing is a wrestling match. A match that never made it to air because Bret Hart, one of the men involved in the match, was so ashamed of it that he demanded that it be lost to the ether. The other man in the match was one Tom McGee. Now, if you don't know who Tom McGee was, he was, at a brief point in the 80s, a man who made Hulk Hogan look like a dumpy bucket of lard. He was like, basically, if you put Rick Rude onto Farrah Fawcett's hair. Yeah, he looked the part, is what I'm trying to say, but it was just a bit of a shame that he wasn't the best of wrestlers, with slaps hitting with less connection than Shawn Michaels' pupils, and chops that look about that they should be on a plate because they were pretty goddamn dead. So yeah, he wasn't the best technical wrestler, therefore the carry job that Bret did for McGee on a house show circuit became the stuff of legends. This was the match that broke Bret. It was a match so overblown for selling for a lesser talent that even nice guy Bret Hart was embarrassed about it. Now there's no actual footage of the match that we can show you because the tapes were thought lost until now. Maybe. I say maybe because photographer and Hart collaborator Mary Kate Anthony has unearthed a VHS tape bearing the immortal words Bret V Tom McGee. And basically at the time of writing, they're sourcing that VCR to prove its authenticity. Now at first, I get what you're probably thinking. This might not seem like much, but it could potentially be like the scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where all the faces get melted, because this might be the one video that makes even John Cena's notable charity work make him look like a kid puncher in comparison. It is delicious. Potentially, and quite possibly the best thing we've yet to see, but I will keep you posted when the harvest comes in, if it ever does. Now, a while back on the channel, I did a video on what Vince McMahon thinks of every main roster star. It was a little jokey series with one line per entry things that Sidgwick and I worked on, and when it came to Eric Rowan, we joked about the fact that the only thing that they could do with him is shorten his name. And then they bloody did it to prove a point, pretty much. So yeah, that's weird. And now, Vince is back again, this time shortening Mustafa Ali just to Ali. And it's prompted a massive surge of people cutting the second names and even shortening the first names of other talents to highlight how odd a move this was. Bobby Lashley just became Bob. Asuka just became Ass, but I will talk about more on that later because, yeah. Anyway, Ali, though, is strange, as you're either going to think of Muhammad Ali, arguably the world's most famous heavyweight boxer, which has about as much to do with Mustafa's in-ring style as I have use for a hairbrush, or you're going to think of that scene in Disney's Aladdin when they're like, Prince Ali, Ali, Babu, something like that. Either way, when you think about it, it's odd to do this when the lad is sniffing around the main event scene and has eyes on him. Then again, being odd and strange is very much the norm for Vinnie Mac. I wonder what my name would be shortened to. Actually, don't say that. Now, if you've ever had the pleasure to do so, you'll realise that I head up a lot of content over on our gaming channel, and I think it's safe to say that in this day and age, the hobby, sport and even career path offered by the video game industry have never really been better. Even the WWE has finally caught on in this idea, as Up Up Down Down is turning into Xavier Woods' digital empire, bringing in guests from all around the world to play games and have a good old chat while doing so. However, it seems that, according to Booker T on a recent Hall of Fame podcast, people weren't so keen on video games backstage in the WWF when he first joined the company. Now, Booker referred to himself as the first WWE video gamer and recounted an early attempt to integrate himself into the locker room. He set up a portable TV, a console, and fired up a game of Madden just like the good old days in WCW. Now, D'Lo Brown joined him for a session, and according to Booker T, just when he was kicking his ass, influential backstage producer Michael P.S.H. walked by and said, "You guys are playing video games, huh?" before immediately storming off. Now, shortly after, he said that it was made clear that video games were henceforth banned. Booker T told Jericho on that podcast that he thought to himself at the time, "These guys are crazy here, man." Now, crazy might have been the wrong word, because remember, this is the same Michael Hayes that was suspended twice for racist remarks, and is even reportedly the man behind Bobby Lashley leaving the WWE the first time round because of comments made against his wife. Whatever the intent, it's honestly sad to hear Booker having a hard time just trying to fit in, because I know we've all been there, and also it's just sad that he wasn't allowed to shucky his duck hunt. The former Alberto Del Rio is on a mission. He wants to return to the WWE, which might prove difficult for him since he sort of called Triple H worse than shit upon his 2016 exit. Specifically, in a several drunken rants, Del Rio accused head of talent relations Triple H as being a pussy with a big nose, as part of this whole Aaron Rex, that other company patter that he was doing at the time. Now, he later called up Trips to apologise, according to an interview conducted by Controlona TV, but he's probably not going to be getting his job back anytime soon. And to be honest, it's down to one simple thing. He's simply not that much of a draw. I hate to say it, but I mean, however, that didn't stop him from trying to lick every possible boot and bumhole he could, as during the interview he said that John Cena was unparalleled in his ability to listen to the fans and how to make them cheer. Then he said, John Cena is one of the best wrestlers in the universe. All right, Patron, chill out, mate, all right, just... Anyway, finally, he rounded up the interview by basically complaining that the industry was too choreographed and flippy for his liking, which, you know, again licks Vince's butt, because basically most guys on his top roster are like freight trains, and also somewhat wouldn't make sense for Patron to say that, because he was the type of guy that asked his opponents to hold themselves up while he prepared to do his double stump off the turnbuckle. And now we end on a strange and sad note. 'Tis WrestleMania season, and all through the square, not a voice was left cheering as Asuka was pinned by Flair. Don't know why I went for a Christmas slant there. Anyway, yes, SmackDown was a weird show to say the least, but for two very, very big lows for certain performers, namely Sanity and Asuka. Now, I understand that at the moment, Charlotte needs to be seen as a credible threat in the fear of being lost in the mix between Ronda and Becky at WrestleMania, but having Asuka lose the title to her in such fashion doesn't actually convey that. What it does convey is the following. Oh, lads, we've got potentially 17 matches on the Mania card, and we've built up no feasible storyline for our women's champion. I tell you what we're going to do, right? What we're going to do, we're going to have her lose the women's title, and we're going to deny her a payday by not having her appear on the card. Yeah, sound good? Brilliant, cool. Thought you'd be happy with that. Now let's just go meet up for the pint, shall we? Should we meet up for a pint? Should we go drink some oil, shall we? Fat cat humour, brilliant. Also, just to intersect this, I love that there are some people out there blaming us, or more specifically Andy Murray, for his video on how WrestleMania 35 must end because of Charlotte winning the title, and like we had any say on the matter. Anyway, it sucks that Asuka lost, but at least she's faring slightly better than Sanity, who are, and have been now relegated to basically just being private security for Shane O'Mac. We haven't seen this stable on TV in ages, and now here they are just acting as basically fluffers. Fantastic. Yes, that's right, Shane O'Mac has somehow managed to get a stable that has a gimmick of being like a rabid pack of dogs to be his personal bootlicking security. It doesn't really make sense, and it's security that The Miz ran through like paper. Have you seen the size and hair on Killian Dane? He would put up a bit more fight than that, you know. I guess you can say that this is Sanity's Mania moment. It might be used in the hype package. Yay. Anyway, let's cheer ourselves up by seeing if Simon Miller can whip us into shape, shall we?
Right, guys, I am going to whip you into shape. Repo Man shape. You ready? Good. Right, we're going to start with these very light, very easy weights.
man, that looks heavy. Are you sure you're okay?
No, it's just a bit too heavy for me, to be honest. I'm just
calm
gonna
down, mate.
just need to have a drink.
You're not Miller, no offense.
Mm.
That looks nice.
Then we're gonna do 20 of these. Now, do you have your weight belt?
Pass me my weight belt, boy.
Got a camera shoulder strap.
That's fine, just make sure you grab a few sandbags.
Now this is an exercise I can get used to.
Right, we're now going to do 40 of these, and I want you to lunge deep. I want you to lunge so deep that it hurts. Otherwise, I'm gonna hurt you.
Right, Phil, I think I'm ready now. I'm gonna go for my first lunge. Here we go.
Yes.
Oh, my knees! Oh,
You're not doing it. I'll give you a hand.
my legs! Sorry, boy. Oh, God. Oh, thank you very much, Si. That's really helped. I think we're finally in shape to take on the Bullet Club. Soy boys! Four. That's 8, more than that, 12 now. Life! Anyway, yes, that's right. Phil and I are ready to take on the Bullet Club at their own game. On April 7th, we're going to be at their block party.
We're coming for you, Tamatonga!
Yeah.
And the rest of them, but to a slightly lesser extent.
Haku, if you're watching this, I'm gonna bite your nose off, mate.
I really wouldn't say
Nope, I actually regret saying that right now.
Huge mistake.
Anyway, if you're going to be at the Bullet Club block party, then come say hi to us, because we're going to be there drinking their food and
drinking their food, drinking all their beer, and eating all their food.
I'll need to liquidize my food after Tama probably punches my face in.
Yeah.
You know
and
what?
Hiding from Tamatonga.
To be fair though, an open bar is worth getting beaten up, and thank you so much, Juan Ortiz, for the designs of this.
Thank
because
you so much.
Soy Boy,
Good stuff.
Soy Boy Club is in the house. If you're going to be there, come say hi to us, and if you're going to be joining us at our live show on April the 8th, then thank you so much for helping us sell out.
Live show.
Sold out indeed. But yes, as always, I've been Jules.
I've been Phil.
You had to think about that, didn't you? And it
I
wasn't said with passion.
I was about to say I've been soy. But I've been that too.
And we'll speak to you soon. Oh, we have a laugh in our establishment.
Soy boys!